What is up, fellow movie acolytes? My name is Dan Stevens, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where we take a deep dive into the good things, the bad things, and the downright ugly things about a given film. And today we're going to be talking about the film that started the entire DCEU, 2013's Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder. So guys, before we get started, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel. We are growing every day, trying to give you guys almost daily content about movies and stuff and things. Every week we come out with a new Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And also at the end of each month we're giving away something free to one lucky subscriber. So this month, at the end of March, we are giving away a Snyder Cut Justice League shirt. So guys, show us some love and we'll show it back. Let's get to it. The film gets off to a good start by just showing us the birth of Kal-El, and we get to see early on the Snyderverse version of Krypton. And I gotta be really honest, I really enjoy it. I love the shots. They remind me of a weird mix between Geonosis from Star Wars and something from Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, General Zod stages a military coup and tries to seize power over the dying planet. Honestly, his argument in hindsight isn't that bad because, the planet does end up blowing the fuck up. But he ends up ultimately failing and gets sent to the Phantom Zone, but not before killing Kal-El's father, Jor-el. On their way to the Phantom Zone, Zack Snyder and production team oddly chose very phallic ships to send them up into the Phantom Zone. And I gotta be honest, Zack, not really sure what the fuck you were thinking there, but it's kind of an odd choice. Yeah. Anyway, they get sent to the Phantom Zone, and the planet of Krypton blows up, and Kal-El is the only survivor, gets sent to Kansas, and that's where our movie really starts the origin story of Superman. Oh, but before we do that, we have to cut to a... Oh. Yeah, guys, I find the Memento-style flashbacks that Christopher Nolan fell in love with in the mid to late 2000s kind of annoying. It worked really well for certain films, and it was kind of nicely done for Batman Begins, but I gotta be honest, not a big fan of this version. I just want a very straightforward narrative structure for Man of Steel. I just want to see him from a kid growing up to a full man. I don't need to bounce back and forth like we get for 2/3 of the movie. The boat is where Clark Kent goes to work as a fisherman and is apparently terrible at his job. They get news of an oil rig about to blow, and Clark frees the trapped riggers. And holy good God, this CGI in this scene is terrible. In a movie that's filled with great CGI most of the time, and we'll get to that later on, it does such a good job everywhere else, but right here it is just downright ugly. It's going to be our first ugly score for the day, and it's not redeemable. Honestly, the fire that's on Clark, it looks like something from a PlayStation 2 video game. We then flash back again to Clark as a boy in Kansas first discovering his powers. I think the film really nails home how scary and life-changing it can be for a child, and it really helps put us in Clark's shoes. But I can't help but think, why the hell is the teacher, when Clark has like a panic attack and runs into the coat closet, why is everyone standing around and just like gossiping about him and everything outside as the teacher's just sitting there? She brings the whole students out. What are you doing, lady? We then get into the intro of a great performance by DIANE, who plays Clark's mom, Martha. She helps Clark reel in his abilities and learn to cope with it. We then cut back again for about a minute to Clark on the road traveling again. And then it cuts back again to Clark as a 13-year-old. Yeah, you can see where I'm going with this, guys. The cuts are kind of abrupt sometimes and just a little annoying after a while. It gets old. Anyways, they're on a bus, and the bus blows a tire and crashes into the river. It's sinking fast, and Clark pulls it out of the river, saving everybody. And then the same kid who picked on him earlier gets his life saved by Clark, goes and tattles on Clark for saving everyone in this, miraculous, godlike way, and kind of freaks the mom out. What the hell, Pete? Clark is just trying to save your hide. I feel like it's kind of like a bro code there. You don't speak of that moment ever again. Man, Pete, why you gotta be such a dick? Honestly, the scene seems to be there as a segue to have Kevin Costner shown as Jonathan Kent. And honestly, in my opinion, Kevin Costner is one of the best parts of this movie. Whether you love him or hate him as an actor, I think he nails the Midwestern man who is in over his head raising this alien child. And I think he does a great job, helping kind of guide Clark and telling him he really should suppress his powers, because Jonathan's a God-fearing man and he fears what Clark can do, and he fears what people will think of him. Oh yeah, and also in this scene it's very evident, and from here on out, guys, the cinematography in this movie is absolutely gorgeous. Whether you love Zack Snyder's, shooting style and how he shows certain movies and how they're a little darker a lot of times, This one had just, I don't know what it is about it. It has the right amount of flair to it. I just absolutely love it. I know not everybody likes the darker hues of the DCU, but I really think it works well for this given universe. We then get a quick cut, maybe 2-3 minutes long, where Clark basically stands up for a waitress getting sexually harassed by that truck driver Dick, and then ends up proceeding to stick about 15 logs through the truck. I'm not gonna lie, I really love this scene. I think it's kind of out of Superman's MO, but I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love it, and I think it was a funny move, and I legitimately laughed when I first saw it. Anyway, yada yada yada. Clark meets Lois in the Antarctica when she's discovering this weird alien ship. Clark saves her. Turns out the ship is the Fortress of Solitude. He saves her life from this alien sentinel that's guarding the ship, and then she's bound and determined to find out who her mysterious savior is. Clark then somehow manages to fly the ship and then land it somewhere else, and the consciousness of his father, Jor-el, is uploaded into the ship, and he explains to him the entire backstory of Krypton and the destruction of it, why he and his mother stayed behind, which seems a little convenient if you ask me, but they could have all three ruled the world together with their powers, but I digress. He gets Clark the Superman suit, tells him what it's all about, and tells him to start testing out his abilities, really stretching the ability of what he can do. And I gotta be honest, I love most of the Snyderverse costume designs, if not all of them. I can't really think of many I don't like. This one is definitely one of the better ones. Superman is definitely reinvented. We don't get the outside underwear look. We really just get a very sleek, streamlined Superman that feels very timeless to me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see this and look at it and say, oh, that is definitely from the 80s, or oh, that's definitely from the 90s. It just seems very timeless to me. You could put this Superman suit 20 years from now and I think it would look good. You could put it back in an 80s movie and I think it would still look good. Clark walks outside the fortress and starts testing his powers. And one thing I really don't like about this scene is, as powerful as the scene is, I don't like how abrupt it kind of seems that you go from Clark Kent to Superman, all within maybe 5-minute span. It just seemed a very abrupt moment. We then get some exposition on why Jonathan Kent dies. I don't like it. I don't like why Clark didn't save him, because Jonathan was too stubborn to show everyone what Clark can do and how the tornado wouldn't hurt him. I don't like this scene. I think it's honestly one of the weaker parts of the film. But then we get, in my opinion, the best part of the entire film, the introduction to General Zod. And my God, it is awesome. They use this thing for all the trailers, all the teasers, and it was built up so well. And honestly, in the movie, it just felt so real. And I really like how they show all the different languages that he's projecting it on to all the media, the TVs, the cell phones, and everything. I really like how he translates himself somehow into all these other languages. But before we can get to that badass fight, we cut back again to Clark having a moral dilemma. If he should fight Zod, give himself up, what he should really do. I'm all for having these dilemmas in a film, but goddamn, just give me some action. We're over an hour into this movie, and I need something. I need Superman to punch something. He at least, maybe punch a hole in the church or something on his way out. I do got to admit, I really do like the juxtaposition Zack Snyder really forces on you a little bit at times and shoehorns it in, but I really do like the juxtaposition he does between Jesus Christ and Superman, and I think he really does. He laid on thick at times, absolutely, but I think that's the whole point, is to show that Superman is here for a reason. But to save Earth, Clark decides to give himself up to the military, and then they give him up to Zod. We find out that Zod has bad intentions with the Codex and with Clark, and yeah, that's when the film really starts kicking off. We got about 45 minutes to an hour left in the film, but my God, the last 45 minutes of the film is awesome. We get punching, we get kicking, we get explosions everywhere. We get everything you can ask for in a Superman film. Do a lot of people die? Is there a lot of collateral? Yes. And honestly, guys, I think that's part of the point. And we see it in Batman v Superman. Maybe Zack Snyder was addressing some of the problems people had with, basically Metropolis got leveled and probably millions of people died. But he also saved, what would you have him do? He saved billions. And I think that's the thing that people kind of forget is, yeah, millions of people died, but it's not like he really had much of a choice. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I gotta be honest, the little final boss level that we get up in the spaceship between Jor-El's consciousness and Lois Lane, and him showing her how to escape the ship and kill everyone, I actually really like that scene, and I still love it every time I watch it. I don't know why. It's a little hammy to me, but I just think it's kind of badass. But anyway, if I could give plus 1,000 for the final fight, I would. Unfortunately, I'm not going to. I'm only going to do our normal +1 grading here, but by gosh, if you haven't seen this film, you gotta watch at least this part, because it is so good. It's so well done. Also, the CGI in the final fight, and really for the most part, the whole movie is exquisite. It's well done. And also the fight choreography is exceptional as well, because in a Superman film, the fights need to be more, how do I put it, Dragon Ball Z-like, where they're not normal fighting. It's not, you know, two guys, it's not a Batman movie where two guys are just, you know, duking it out. It is, when you punch someone, you're sending them a mile away or 2 miles away. You're sending them up into the stratosphere. And that's what we get. That's what we want to see when we see a Superman film. And I think Zack Snyder, by far, understood this the best of anyone that's done a Superman film. But basically, in the end, Zod and his goons are finished off, and the world is saved from terraforming. Superman kind of stays hidden from everyone. No one knows who he is. He works at the Daily Planet. But this film is not saved yet. It's not spared. We have a cringy-as-hell moment at the end between Lois and Superman with the kiss, and we also have a cringy moment with the captain from the military who says he is kind of hot. You know, it was a cringy dialogue, I thought, in the theaters when I first saw it back 8 years ago, and it's even cringier now. Well, I don't know why that was put in there. But I will say the film ends with some uplifting music and young Clark wearing a cape staring into the sun, leaving everyone awed and inspired. So on our good, bad, and the ugly scale of 0 to 20, how did Man of Steel do? Man of Steel scored a 7 out of 20, which for our scale is actually going to be in the good category. Man of Steel does have its flaws, guys, but all in all, it's a fun movie. It's kind of right in the realm of good popcorn flick. It's a fun movie to turn on once in a while. Definitely not binge-worthy yet. But it is a good, fun movie. And finally, last but not least, we have the Fuck That Guy Award. So the Fuck That Guy Award in Good, Bad, and the Ugly, guys, we do one for every single movie because, let's be honest, every movie has a Fuck That Guy moment where you just look at the character and you say, fuck that guy. And in this movie, I almost gave it to Pete when he was a kid, but, you know, Pete honestly is not the worst human being in this movie. In my opinion, it's actually the damn teacher who lets all the kids come out and pick on Clark and laugh at him when he's clearly having a moment of anxiety, a panic attack. And she decides to just let all the kids crowd around the door. And when Martha comes, she doesn't even say anything about it. This is just negligence from the ground up in that school. Fire that teacher. Fuck that guy. In this case, fuck that teacher. Guys, thanks for watching so much. Like I said, stay tuned. We got daily movies going, daily videos going out for all sorts of things for upcoming movies, and we also have a weekly Good, Bad, and the Ugly video coming out every single week. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.